Now, the Finance Minister, Tito Mboweni, yesterday revealed a new financial support package of a 36.2 billion rand. This after the recent unrest and destruction to property in KwaZulu-Natal as well as parts of Gauteng. Joining us now to discuss the impact that this package will have on business is a Black Business Council CEO, Mr. Kganki Matabane. Very good to have you with us this afternoon, Mr. Matabane. Let's talk about, 36.2 billion rand. It sounds like a very large figure, but your portion as small business is 2.3 billion rand. Your reaction to this, will this suffice?
Afternoon, Tammy and the viewers. The relief is welcomed, but welcomed cautiously. And the reason why we're welcoming it cautiously is because the National Treasury does not have a good track record. You'll recall they launched a 200 billion loan guarantee scheme and it became a failure. So we hope this one will work better. And I think in that regard, the details, especially for those SMMEs and the small businesses that do not have insurance, the details of that will be important because it's one thing to have a plan, but it's another thing to implement it. So we hope the implementation will be much better than the 200 billion loan guarantee scheme that did not help any small businesses, did not help black businesses the way we had anticipated it to be.
There's also the issue, Mr. Matabane, of being tax compliant and being registered before you can actually benefit from any of Treasury's funds. What are your comments on this? And what is perhaps the level of compliance from black business?
We do have different types of businesses. So we have small businesses, we'll have informal businesses. And then some of the businesses that are affected, that were operating small shops, are informal businesses, which means those businesses won't be compliant as far as registration and other things are concerned. So it's important that we must be inclusive. So if we want to bring them in the fold, we should encourage them to comply, but we should not be excluding any business, because our objective as a country should be to create jobs, and then those businesses are creating jobs. So we should try by all means to accommodate as many businesses as possible. But I think that is going to be a problem if we're going to exclude others based on whether they're informal or formal.
The government has also said that 3.9 billion rand will be going towards the SASRIA to help assist businesses who are not insured. Talk to us about that and the level of insuredness.
Yeah, most of the businesses are not insured that were operating in the malls, because I think people took it. If you're operating in a mall is a safer place. Not many people have anticipated this type of a risk, so they're not insured. So what government said, they said SASRIA will only process claims of those who are insured. And we had a meeting at NetLeg. We also raised this when we had a meeting with the president, that government should consider to implement a disaster relief fund. That fund then should cater for those people who are not insured, so that they can reopen their business as soon as possible, and then people who are working there can then go to work as soon as possible and provide for their children. Because if you prolong that, it means government will have to find ways through the UIF to at least give those people something, which unfortunately government doesn't have money. So it's important that we established a fund that will be a relief fund that then will assist everyone, whether they were insured or uninsured.
And how are you going to go about doing that? Is this just a thought and a proposition at the moment, or are there actually efforts underway to ensure that there is this umbrella fund that even the uninsured can benefit from? Mr. Matabane?
Yes, that has been discussed at NetLeg. It has been discussed at NetLeg, and the details are being finalized at NetLeg. So probably by the end of next week, the proposal will have been accepted, and then the details will be shared with all the affected businesses.
And how would that particular fund be funded? Who is going to put in money to that fund?
It will almost operate like in the same vein that the Solidarity Fund operates. So some of the big businesses will be expected to donate some money to this fund, and the government will also chip in something, so that then we can reopen those businesses and grow the economy.
You mentioned earlier on your lack of confidence in government even paying out this 2.3 billion rand, and you used the 200 billion rand that was previously supposed to go to business as the reason why you're not confident. How are you going to ensure that what government has said will come to you will indeed come to you, and that it will actually benefit the business sector?
Yes, I think it's because of the history of the National Treasury. For example, as part of the economic recovery and reconstruction plan, the National Treasury was supposed to speed up the process of the public procurement bill, because the public procurement bill is intended to support small businesses, transform the economy using public procurement. But National Treasury has not done much about that. They have stalled the process, and hence lack of hence I was indicating a lack of confidence, because they don't have a good track record of implementing important things that needs to take the country to a different trajectory and take us to a state where we can create sustainable jobs and sustainable businesses and sustainable entrepreneurs who will then create the much needed jobs.
Do you in some way, Mr. Matabane, feel that business is on its own?
Yes, to be honest, especially small businesses, black businesses, businesses owned by young people, owned by women, and owned by people with disabilities. We are on our own. There are not many avenues, for example, by government to fund businesses, because for us to be able, as a country, to be able to create jobs, and this has been proven all over the world, we need to support entrepreneurs. We need to fund entrepreneurs. We need to fund small businesses. But there are not many funding avenues in the country that are taking care of small businesses, like black business and so on. So for all intents and purposes, we are on our own.
Mr. Matabane, thank you very much for your time there. He is the CEO of the Black Business Council, giving their perspective on how the 2.3 billion rand the Treasury has committed to business will affect them. But really not much of a vote of confidence, because previously the monies that were due to them never really saw the light of day, didn't really benefit as many businesses as had initially been anticipated.